Hi, my name's Pete Rainford and you're watching Brew It Yourself UK. Today we're going to make a simple tasty cider from apple juice, yeast nutrient, some tannin, some pectolase, half a lemon and 150 grams of sugar. Okay, let's get started. You're going to need a demijohn for this, or a fermentation vessel of around 4.5 litres. Let's get this stuff here, then you can still see it. Okay, 1. Sterilise demijohn. Sterilise your equipment. Important. So first off, I'm going to get 3 litres of the apple juice in. Ideally, you're going to need a funnel, sorry guys. Again, sanitised. So, this apple juice, by the way, is 95p in ALDI. And we're going to need 4 of these, which, if my math is correct, comes to £3.80. And then the other little bits we're going to add in, we'll bring it up to around £4, and we're going to get 8 pints out of this. So, this is a cheap brew. Okay. One. Two. Now, at this point, I'm going to add the sugar and some other bits and bobs so that there's plenty of room so I can shake it up. Okay, I pre-boiled 500 millilitres of water earlier, to which I'm going to add 150 grams of sugar. Here we go. Okay, sanitised spoon, let's give that a good stir. And in we go with the sugary water. Okay, didn't dissolve all the sugar, so I'm just going to add a little bit more apple juice to here to get all that sugar out. Because we've got to be precise, got to get every last little bit. Do we have? And in we go. Okay. 2 3/4 litres of apple juice are in there now, and the sugar, of course, 150 grams. I'm going to add a little bit of wine tannin when I find the right spoon. God, it's like being a jailer. Okay, 1/4 teaspoon of wine tannin. If you haven't got wine tannin, boil the tea bag in a cup and add that. Same difference. Oh. Okay, and turn it in. And what that does basically is gives it a lovely mouthfeel, almost like a wine sort of feel. Yeast nutrient, 1 teaspoon. Now, if you don't have any of this stuff, by the way, don't worry. It's not 100% necessary, it just helps with speedy fermentation. but because I do have it, I'm going to use it naturally. This just helps the yeast get a good colony going from the offset. Okay, they were 1/3 teaspoons, by the way, and so 3 if you're wondering. And then I'm going to put some pectolase in. Ooh. So 1/2 teaspoon of pectolase. Again, if you don't have it, it's not 100% necessary. What this does is it helps to clear it. A lot of the fruity haze that comes after this starts fermenting, this will help to clear it. Right, I'm not going to put the yeast in yet because I don't want to shake the yeast about and give them a headache. What I am going to do now is put a sanitized rubber bung in there and just give it a shake. Now this does 2 things. It mixes all those ingredients I've just put in, and it also adds oxygen into the brew, into the must. At the moment it's a must because we haven't pitched the yeast. And the oxygen helps the yeast to build a colony, because they need oxygen at the start. It's at the end of the brew where we don't want it. So make sure you've got your thumb over that rubber bung when you do this. And really give it a good shake. All that oxygen is great for the yeast. There we go. Ah. Okay, take the bung out. Lemon. I'm going to add the juice of 1/2 lemon. What? Doing that fun? Oh my God, it's right in front of me. So 1/2 lemon, and the lemon gives it, oh, get in there, a lovely zing. Oh, and a few pips. Get in there. Okay, sanitize hands. And I am terrible for not writing notes, so bear with me a sec. Look, got some new notes as well. Look at this. Okay, you don't have to take notes. I do, because I have that many brews going that I can never remember what's what. So yeah, simple brewing log I've got here. And I just write things down like the name of it, ALDI apple cider, style. I'm going to make some of this flat and some of it fizzy. I'll show you that at the end. This is batch number 10 since I've started my channel. Lucky number 10. The date, of course, today, 20th of October, and target alcohol, target ABV, which I've got down at 6%. This could be anywhere between 5.5 and 6%. Ingredients as the base: ALDI 95 pence, 1 litre apple juice by 4, Young's yeast, which I haven't added yet, but it's there ready to go. Nutrients, yeast nutrient, 1 teaspoon. Other flavours, 1/2 lemon, and I haven't written down tannin. 1/2 lemon and 1/4 teaspoon of tannin. As I say, if you haven't got tannin, a cup of tea, or 1/2 cup of tea with the tea bag in, leave it for a good few minutes to steep, pour that in, you'll get the same effect. Sweetener, I've left that blank for now. I don't think this will need any sweetener at the end, but we'll see. Okay, let's get the rest of the apple juice in. 1, 2, 3, that one. It smells of apples in here. Did I mention I love cider? Okay, now before I pitch the yeast, I'm just going to take a reading with my hydrometer. You don't have to do this at home. because I'll do it for you. Where's that gone? There it is. Again, make sure your gear is sanitised. Okay, we have a starting gravity of dun 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 1.056. Okay, because I sanitized this, of course, I am pouring this back in. Because there was a good few mouthfuls there, and I want it. Okay, last but not least, don't forget this one. 1/2 teaspoon of yeast. These are 1/4 teaspoons again, so there's one. Okay, rubber bung and an airlock with a little bit of sterilising fluid in. And that's it. As I said, a very simple brew, just apple juice and technically yeast, sugar, yeast nutrient, pectolase, tannin and lemon. But at its heart, this is a simple cider. It's just the main ingredients are apple juice, sugar and yeast. I'm going to put this on my heating mat for probably about a week to 10 days. This should ferment to around 6%, so yeah, probably a week to 10 days. And then I'm going to rack it off into a clean demijohn, and then I'm going to let it sit for probably another week. So this is going to be a couple of weeks. If you don't have a heating mat, get it in your house, in a warm room, in a closet, in a wardrobe, near a radiator would be brilliant. And ideal temperature is between 18 and 22 degrees. So the colder it gets this time of year, but my studio is a shed. I'm waffling, I'll shut up. So yeah, 18 to 22 degrees is ideal. It will ferment at lower temperatures, but to get the speediest ferment, that's the temperature range you want it in. Okay, let's get this on the heating mat. Okay guys, here's our cleared cider. Okay, so we started this on the 20th of October. Today is the 1st of November, so it's had 12 days. Now I've added some bentonite into this to clear it because it was a cloudy cider, which I think it was going to remain that way, and I just prefer clear ciders. They look much more professional. Now if you're wondering about the bentonite that I've put in and how that works, what it is exactly and how to use it, I'll give you a quick explanation now if you like. Okay, this is bentonite powder, and all you do is, in fact it says on the label, you add 1 level teaspoon of this to 50 milliliters of whatever it is you're brewing, stir it quite vigorously, leave it for an hour, and then stir it again and add it to your brew. After which you just stir it gently, give it a swirl, and you know, for about 5 to 10 seconds, and then leave it overnight. And sure enough, that happened overnight. Yesterday it was cloudy, so it works fast, and it will leave a tiny bit of sediment on the bottom of your brew, which is all the cloudiness, which is all the, you know, particles, yeast, anything like that. It's completely dropped to the bottom. So there you go. That's well worth it. Buy some if you can. Right, let's get this into some bottles and let's have a taste. It's weekend. It's the afternoon. Let's have a good taste. Okay guys, we've got 4 litres of cider from that brew, which I'm more than happy with. The other few hundred millilitres is in here, and yeah, it's mostly sediment, so we'll leave that there. I don't know if you can see that, it's off camera, anyway. So this cider is cleared beautifully. I had to add some bentonite, which I bought the other day actually, to get it to clear, because it was really cloudy. And I prefer my ciders clear. Don't know about you, if you don't mind the cloudiness, you don't need the bentonite. So now we have this into some PET bottles. The reason I've put it into PET bottles is because I want to carbonate them, because I prefer my cider fizzy. If you've watched any of my videos, I love fizzy cider. Not so much still cider, although I will drink it if there's nothing else. So let's take a reading, find out what strength this finished at, and let's have a taste. It's 2 o'clock. What is it? It's 2:15 on a Saturday afternoon. It's a perfect time for a taste. Plus, I'm going out for a meal later, so a little warm-up drink won't hurt a lot. Okay, let's get some out of here and get a reading. Whoa, don't tip it over, Pedro. Okay, our cider started out at 1.056. And we now have a reading of 1.000. So this has indeed fermented to dry. Okay. Rather than pour that back into the bottle, we shall pour it into a glass and have a taste. Stay. Let's make some room. Okay guys, let's have a good look at it first. Obviously this is a great looking cider. It's completely clear, crystal clear, lovely golden colour. So it's good on looks. Smell. Oh, apples. Little bit tart maybe. But mostly apples. This is promising. Okay, go in for a taste. Cheers, guys. Oh, I approve. Yes. Just a lovely, crisp, plain cider. You know, it's let's go in for some more. Yeah. That's definitely a session cider. We've made a lovely, crisp, apple forward cider. From nothing but juice. ALDI juice. Yeah, that's a lovely cider from very basic ingredients. This is cost us less than £5, remember, to make 4 litres of what I can only say is on par with a cheap cider you'll buy at the supermarket. So for 4 litres of ALDI apple juice, a teaspoon of nutrients, some lemon, some tannin and some yeast, we've done pretty well here. Yeah, and don't forget, this is still a flat cider. This will improve once it's been chilled and carbonated. As for sweetness, it's dry, but the jury's out whether that needs a bit of sugar or sweetener to maybe just a tiny bit. Do you know, I don't think it needs it. I'm going to leave that as it is. I'm just going to carbonate it and chill it. But yeah, so far, good result. That's perfectly drinkable like that. If you don't like fizzy cider or even chilled, you can drink it straight out the bottle like that. It's fine. Gets better with every mouthful. And well, there you go. The proof's in the pudding. I know there's only 100 millilitres in there, but nonetheless, I've enjoyed that. So, I'm going to carbonate these. First of all, I'm just going to even the levels up. Okay. So our starting gravity was 1.056 for this cider, and it finished and it fermented to dry at 1.000, which gives us a final ABV of 7.35. So we round that up, 7.4. We've got a 7.4% cider here. Now I am going to get this carbonated and fizz it up. So for those of you that have seen this, if you follow my channel, these are PET bottle carbonators, and we basically thread these on these bottles, and then we attach this little gizmo, bottle carbonator, which has got a little CO2 canister in there, and we inject CO2 into the bottles. The cider then absorbs the CO2 over time. Only takes a couple of days. Leave it a few days and it gets even fizzier. If you keep topping it up, even fizzier still. But we just need some carbonation. So let's take the top off, both of them. This is my preferred way, forced carbonation, because then you do not end up with sediment in the bottom of your bottle and have to pour it gently, etc, etc. Anyway, this is my preferred method. With those on, I just pop this on the top and inject CO2. 1, 2, and I think that's just running out, so it might need a... No, that's fine. But yeah, it's a great little system. There's a little CO2 canister in here. When it runs out, yeah, that's gone. You just unthread it. And thread another one in. Like so. Then you get a So those two bottles are now really tight. They're full of CO2. Well, the headspace is full of CO2. The cider will now absorb that CO2 over the course of the next couple of days, and we'll have fizzy cider. And I'll come back and give you another taste, just quickly to wrap this video up and go over anything that we missed. Okay guys, see you in a couple of days. Okay, welcome back guys. We have our simple apple cider here, made from ALDI juice. I've carbonated it using my forced carbonation method with my CO2 gun, and I'm looking forward to our first. I think I'm right in saying that this will be my first fizzy cider taste on camera for you guys, so looking forward to this because I prefer my cider carbonated. Our target ABV for this was 6%, starting gravity of 1.056. This fermented to dry. I leave most of my brews to go to dry, and if anything I'll back sweeten them, which well, that's a whole another video if you want me to explain that one. I haven't sweetened this one. This is as it brewed, and our finishing gravity, obviously with it fermented dry, is 1.000, which gives us a 7.35% ABV. So we've gone over by a percent, but 7 is not too bad. So let's crack this baby open. Lovely and clear. And you're going to hear a big hiss for this. Ooh. Okay, let's get a good pour. Oh my god, I can't hold this with one hand. Oh, this isn't easy. And those bubbles. Ooh. Yes, I'm looking forward to this. Apples. Apples. Just apples. What more can you ask for? Okay, I'm not going to beat about the bush with this one and swirl it around and sniff it, and let's just get in there. Oh, nectar. Just simple. It doesn't taste 7%, I'll be honest with you. Just a lovely, crisp, refreshing appley cider. That's lovely. Ah, I don't mind telling you, I turned 50 this year, and I've been drinking this for a long, long time. Too long. I live for cider, and that's good. I'd be happy if someone served me that in a bar. Very happy. Yeah, definitely a success, this one, guys. Now, if memory serves, this was 4 litres of ALDI apple juice, which is like 95p a litre, so this will have been less than a fiver with everything we've put in, and you get essentially 8 pints. So there you go, do the maths. 50, 60 something pence without getting a calculator out. 60 pence a pint. 70, yeah, 60 something. Not 65 maybe. And that is, you'd be more than happy with this result, guys. You really will. Ah, it's weekend. I'm going to drink that when I go back in the house. That's lovely. It does make a difference being chilled and being carbonated. I've got to admit, I prefer a lot of the ciders and wines I taste in here are flat. I haven't carbonated them before I've put them on before I've tasted them for you guys, because I'm itching to get the video on YouTube, and I don't wait to carbonate them. So this one I have, and I'm really happy that I have. That's great for probably the cheapest cider you're going to make. Such a simple recipe. This is one to do, guys, if you're out there and you're starting out. And I've got another cider coming up, which I might get out after this one. If I do, it'll be up here, you know, suggested video, where I've chopped up some apples and added a bit of fruit juice to it and everything, and that's going to be really good. I've got really high hopes of that. But this will be a close second, because there's no fruit involved. It's just juice and yeast, obviously, and some. All right, I've carbonated it with the carbonation gun, but you don't have to do that if you like. You know, it's still, or you can just add some sugar to the bottle and let it carbonate that way. So yeah, cheers guys. This is great stuff. Thanks for watching. Oh, yes.